What's going on YouTube? Culturedog Sam Hatch back with another quick Laserdisc update video. And I had actually been prepared for these titles to arrive sometime in the future. I had ordered them from Kevin Kobos at Good Squid. You've seen probably my unboxing of some 007 LEDs I got from him recently. And he sent me off a new package not too long ago, and I thought it was going to take a month or two on the slow boat to get over here. And then lo and behold, it was in my mail bin, which was awesome. Always cool seeing a package arriving from Japan with some new discs. So I figured we'll tear through those quickly. If you are like me and you love watching Laserdisc collection videos online but are kind of disappointed by the lack thereof, check out, he was Speak Fanatic, but now he's Steve Vincent Furness, or I'm guessing he was that before he was Speak Fanatic as well. And he's been putting up a bunch of great collection update videos this week, including a James Bond collection update, and miraculously, I think we only have two common titles in both of our collections that we've been unveiling. So that was cool, and I just watched one today where he had a lot of great European films and Criterions and things like that. So check out his channel. I'll put a link below, and cheers, brother. Keep up the good fight, or whatever. Keep up collecting Laserdiscs and convincing the wife that they're affordable. Anyway, so speaking of affordable Laserdiscs, I just got a batch of great stuff in from Japan. So, as you've seen in some of my other recent videos, I've been collecting as many James Bond titles as possible, getting all psyched up for Spectre. I'm going to be doing like a top 23 video soon, and talk about all my favorites in the series and my least favorites, etc., and get that going, and then do some comparison videos, because I've been really tearing through watching all these Laserdiscs, usually on a nightly basis. So I'm just about done with all the Japanese Laserdiscs, and now I've got to watch all the US ones. But yeah, so I've been trying to collect all of the, at least at first, the widescreen releases, and then I'll kind of double back and get some of the older 80s releases. But this one was missing, and I found it on one of Kevin's sales, and had to have it. And one, it's got some of the best artwork out of all the series from the Japanese releases. Poster art all over the place. The Spy Who Loved Me. And yes, usually they have the kind of white Agent 007 backings like this. But for The Spy Who Loved Me, and Moonraker I think was black, but The Spy Who Loved Me's got this great red that kind of goes with the color scheme of the poster art, but just totally gorgeous stuff. Nice gatefold. I'll do some proper unveiling of the interior of these things. I think there's an insert, again, like most of these have, explaining what LD graphics are, and we'll be talking about that too. I am actually in the midst of editing the new Laserdisc Essentials release, and that's going to have a lot of information about acronyms and shorthand speak and all that kind of stuff. So stick with me. It takes a while to edit those suckers, but I'm working on it. But yeah, so LD graphics, just different subtitling options, basically. And it is widescreen release. Watched it last night. Looks pretty good. So I figured I'd also get a few titles that I'd been meaning to get for a while that weren't James Bond related, but these were on my hit list. This, I have the domestic US pressing. It is one of the biggest listed rotters because it was pressed by the Sony DADC plant out in the Midwest. And also, it was a late-ish release, late 90s, or mid to late 90s. But at this point, Warner Brothers apparently wasn't that excited about licensing AC3, Dolby Digital 5.1. So for the States, they just gave a bare-bones, Dolby Surround track on the disc. But on the Japanese release, it came with AC3, so I was excited to get that. Eraser, different artwork there too. It's a little interesting looking. Arnold with his rail guns. On the backside, there's the traditional poster art. Looking forward to spinning this up. This is the only one out of the bunch I haven't watched yet. I mean, I've seen the film, obviously, if you've seen my Laserdisc Spotlight review of the original. But yeah, Dolby Digital, digital audio, and yeah, good stuff. Very excited to have that. Thanks to Kevin. And finally, this is a release I've been wanting to get, for almost 20 years now. It was a film that wasn't beloved at the theaters and wasn't beloved by critics or fans alike, but I was a fan, thanks to my dad, shout-outs, of William Gibson, the author. But Hollywood has had a hard time adapting the literary works of William Gibson, and I had the script back in the day for this and another film called New Rose Hotel, which eventually did get made, with Asia Argento and I think Willem Dafoe and who else was in that? Was it Walken? I think Chris Walken was in that too. And I want to say like Abel Ferrara directed that. I got to watch that again. Anyways, but this film had a lot of hype going into it. Robert Longo, kind of visual artist who was renowned for doing a lot of interesting stuff, commercials for MTV, etc. Cutting edge kind of guy. In the same camp as, well, David Fincher was more just straight music videos, but one of those kind of avant-garde directors that should have gone on to a big storied career in cinema. But this was going to be his big, jump into Hollywood, and there was a lot of talk about the production of the film and how it was, the set was pretty much the rival of what they called Ridleyville, the set that Ridley Scott had built for Blade Runner. So people had high expectations, and then Keanu Reeves happened, Johnny Mnemonic. But I said I've been waiting to get this for years and years. Of course, I got Johnny Mnemonic on DVD, etc. And this is actually JM. In Japan, they originally released the film as JM, and because Takeshi Kitano was in the film, it was billed as like a double co-starring feature of Keanu Reeves and Takeshi Kitano. So he's got a lot more kind of scenery to chew in this film, and it's just a little less hurried. The beginning just flows so much better. The film's like about 10 minutes longer. It's got a lot more violence. It's got a little bit more story heft to it. And it's got a completely different score by Michael Dana. The original score was eventually replaced by Brad Fiedel in the American release. So pretty cool, and it's crazy because it's got Dolph Lundgren as a mad preacher and Henry Rollins as this brainy scientist doctor. And it's got Diz from Starship Troopers, Dina Meyer, and Udo Kier. So there's some heavy hitters in the flick. It's still a bit of a hot mess. Oh, I forgot Ice-T, of course, ruling heaven. Still a little bit of a hot mess, but I've been wanting to see this version for a long time. The only caveat for American buyers of this release is that the Takeshi Kitano Japanese dialogue is not subtitled in English, because obviously this was just marketed for Japanese audiences. There is a Blu-ray out, but apparently they didn't spring for a high-def version of the Japanese cut of the film. So the Blu-ray has the American version in HD, and then as a bonus feature on one of the supplemental discs, the JM cut is available in standard definition, and you have to kind of hunt for it and find it as almost like more of an Easter egg. And even so, it's in standard def, and I think that has subtitles. It might have English subtitles on it. So if you are really, really looking forward to, looking for the English translation, you can hunt that down. It's going to be pretty expensive. This I thought was going to cost me at least $80, because back in the day that's what a single disc Japanese Laserdisc would cost you pretty much on the market over here. That's what I had to shell out for my Rush Exit Stage Left disc, and I think Captain Supermarket, aka Army of Darkness, I had to shell out $80 for it. So I was prepared for that, and just figured someday I would be able to get that. But then I got some sweet deals from the Good Squid. So thanks to Kevin Kobos for that, and looking forward to doing some more business and getting some more James Bond Laserdiscs. But yeah, it's so cool to get this finally. It's a little more crazy. I mean, the dolphin that's in the film is a junkie in this version. I was just talking online with somebody about that. Totally nuts, and it's a little more coherent than the other version. So super excited to have JM finally. And it was one of the things that almost got me like back into collecting lasers when I had kind of simmered down a little bit there. I was always keeping an eye on the LDDB, or the Laserdisc database, for the shops and see who had a copy of this. So I'm glad I waited and bought it from my favorite Japanese Laserdisc vendor. But so I got those 3 discs, and I watched JM right away that night. Was totally psyched. Watched The Spy Who Loved Me, and then now tonight I'll probably fire up Eraser. And thanks for hanging out with me, and I don't anticipate buying any more major lots soon, but we'll see. And I do hope to get some more James Bond Laserdiscs, etc. But I've got a lot more. I still have a couple older videos in the can I have to drop. I've got a Laserdisc Spotlight release of the Franco Zeffirelli, Romeo and Juliet, and some Miami Vice related stuff, just randomly, just for fun. And I think I have a Zodiac piece too, kind of flashing back to David Fincher's Zodiac. So I'll pepper those out too, just to clear the air and get all the older backlogged videos out in full force. And then I have to get the next Laserdisc Essentials video out to you. So I apologize for the delay on those. It's mostly because they take so much time, and working a day job and all sorts of other things and shenanigans. But yeah, I know, whatever. The world's smallest violin. Get working, Cultchah Dahg. I hear ya. No, it's all good. Thanks everybody for the support I've gotten on this channel, and it's always awesome interacting with everybody on the page. And yeah, thanks. And I'm super excited that it's almost been a year. I think November will be a year, because I started the channel doing the October Halloween horror kind of movie challenge for 30 movies, or 31 movies in 31 days. So I'll definitely be doing that again this year. But that's kind of what got me started up and running. I mean, I had been on YouTube before, but that was the first thing I did on the Culturedog channel. So it's super cool. I already hit 800 subs, so cheers to each and every one of you out there, and thanks for taking the time out of your days to check out these videos. And we'll be back with some more. And I promise, for either 1 year or 1,000 subs, we'll do something cool again. Maybe another Q&A contest or something funky like that. We'll figure something out. I know my friend Carl says I should give away a subwoofer for 1,000, like a 1,000-watt subwoofer for 1,000 subs. I don't think I'll do that, but something cool though. We'll make that happen. All right, everybody. Hope you're having a great week, and thanks for hanging out, checking out this small batch of Laserdiscs I got. And cheers.